Hello and welcome to In Depth. I'm Tina Jha. Celebrity weddings are always big news, while celebrity divorces make a bigger splash. The most expensive divorces end up being the biggest newsmakers of all. The latest to hog headlines is the divorce settlement of Amazon boss Jeff Bezos and his wife of 25 years, Mackenzie Bezos. The couple announced their separation nearly 3 months ago, which created a big buzz as to what their divorce settlement would be like, given that the net worth of Jeff Bezos today is $150 billion. On Friday, Mackenzie announced on Twitter that her share of the settlement is a jaw-dropping $35.6 billion. That would make her the 4th richest woman in the world. Jeff Bezos, on the other hand, will retain a net worth of $114 billion. That keeps him the richest person in the world. Today in Depth, we focus on some of the most expensive divorces worldwide, some related facts about divorces among the rich across the globe. We also look at few intriguing details about divorces in India. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie Bezos have officially called it quits after 25 years of marriage. The split has been dubbed the world's most expensive, with a reported cost of $137 billion. Both agreed on a settlement that will leave Jeff with 75% of their Amazon stock, along with voting control. The settlement would also make her among the 5 richest women in the world. Her ex will remain the world's richest person.
The world's richest couple, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and his wife Mackenzie, wrapped up their painful split after 25 years of marriage on Friday. The couple have agreed a record-breaking divorce settlement of at least $35 billion. The two announced they had finalized their divorce in a coordinated series of messages published on Twitter almost simultaneously. Mackenzie Bezos announced on Twitter that she and Jeff completed the process of dissolving their marriage. In a Twitter message, Mackenzie said she was happy to be giving her ex-husband 75% of their stock in Amazon, along with voting control of her shares. She also relinquished to him all of her interests in the Washington Post and the Blue Origin Aerospace company. Mackenzie keeps a 4% stake in the online retail giant, worth $35.6 billion on its own. Jeff tweeted, "I'm so grateful to all my friends and family for reaching out with encouragement and love. Mackenzie most of all." The tweet concluded with, "She's resourceful and brilliant and loving, and as our futures unroll, I know I'll always be learning from her."
See, they have arrived at an agreement, and that agreement has to be approved by the court, then the divorce will become final. So this is being the most expensive because she has given up 75% of her stock in the Amazon Incorporated and her stakes in the Washington Post. Now if you do the valuation as of today, then it runs in billions of dollars.
Jeff Bezos, 55, and Mackenzie, 48, a novelist, married in 1993 and have 4 children. The pair announced in January that they plan to divorce. The following day, a tabloid had reportedly revealed Jeff's relationship with former Fox TV host Lauren Sanchez, which reportedly led the couple to head towards a divorce. The Amazon shares alone will make Mackenzie one of the world's richest women, while Jeff will remain the world's richest person according to Forbes. Prior to the settlement, Jeff held a 16.3% stake in Amazon. Amazon is now a vast online retail business. Last year, it generated sales of $232.8 billion, and it has helped Jeff and his family amass a fortune of $131 billion according to Forbes magazine. Jeff Bezos, 55, is seen as an essential to Amazon's meteoric growth and stock price rise since he founded the company in 1994. He has credited Mackenzie for her support when he uprooted the young couple to Seattle from New York to launch Amazon, an online bookseller that grew into a world's largest internet retailer. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
So Jeff Bezos and his wife McKinsey are the latest power couple to hit the marital skids. With a reported cost of $137 billion, the Amazon founder's divorce with wife McKinsey is being dubbed the most expensive in the world till date. Here's a look at some of the most expensive divorces in history. Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev and his ex-wife, businesswoman and socialite Elena Rybolovleva separated after 26 years of marriage in 2008. 7 years later, a Swiss court ordered Rybolovlev to pay his former wife $4.8 billion. The pair amicably reached a settlement in October 2015. Although terms were not disclosed, it is estimated that Rybolovleva's final payout was around $604 million. Art dealer Alec Wildenstein and New York socialite Jocelyn Wildenstein divorced in 1999, and she was entitled to $2.5 billion and an annual $100 million for the next 13 years. In 2013, media mogul Rupert Murdoch and his wife Anna got divorced. After a marriage of 32 years and 3 children together, the couple split in 1999. Under the terms of settlement, Anna reportedly walked away with $1.7 million in cash. The divorce between billionaire Bernie Ecclestone and wife Slavika in 1999 was the most expensive in history at that time. According to reports, the final settlement between Ecclestone and Slavika was in the range of $1 billion to $1.2 billion. In the year 2012, CEO Harold Hamm and wife Sue Ann Hamm filed for divorce after 24 years of marriage. The oilman had an estimated $11 billion prior to the filing of divorce. The estimated amount following their divorce is reported to be $974.8 million. Saudi Arabian arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi divorced his wife Sandra Deli in 1974, and their settlement totaled a then record $874 million. Craig McCaw and his newspaper publisher wife Wendy McCaw amicably divorced in 1997. Their divorce settlement exceeded to $460 million in Nextel stock, according to a Forbes report. Steve Wynn and his wife Elaine divorced for the second time in early 2010, with the Las Vegas casino owner agreeing to pay her a reported $741 million in the stock of his company, Wynn Resorts. The couple met in college and first launched a 23-year marriage in 1963, which ended in their first divorce in 1986. The couple remarried 5 years later. One of the largest Hollywood divorce payouts ever was between Mel Gibson and Robin Moore, who finalized their divorce after nearly 30 years of marriage in the year 2011. They split half of his $850 million fortune, Moore's settlement totaling $425 million. Similarly, Steven Spielberg's first marriage to actress Amy Irving lasted just 4 years, but produced one of the largest settlements in Hollywood history, reported at being as much as $100 million. Across the world, thanks to Bollywood, the great Indian wedding has become a huge draw. But in India, while opulent weddings are widely reported, divorce settlements are still a matter of speculation for the general public and topics for tabloid gossip. Let's take a look instead at some curious facts about divorces in India.
At less than 1%, India has one of the lowest divorce rates in the world. Out of 1,000 marriages, only 13 reportedly resulted divorce. Despite the fact that Indian divorce laws are liberal, family and societal pressures reportedly keep even troubled marriages going. The Hindu Marriage Act was amended in 1976 to include divorce by mutual consent. In 2017, the 6-month waiting period under the Hindu Marriage Act was removed. Some interesting facts are also cited about divorce in India. One, that the number of people separated is almost thrice the number of people divorced. That is a 0.61% of the married population, and 0.29% of the total population are separated. Moreover, more women are divorced and separated than men.
Number of factors go into the net income of the parties, the earning capacity of the parties, and whether the women has also contributed in the income of the house, and the number of children, their education responsibilities, liabilities. All these factors are taken into account. There is no hard and fast rule. It all depends on the facts of each case.
Also, divorce rates in northeast states are relatively higher than anywhere else in India. At 4.08%, Mizoram has the highest divorce rate, more than 4 times that of Nagaland, the state with the second highest rate, 0.88%. Among bigger states, Gujarat reports the maximum number of divorce cases, followed by Assam, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Jammu and Kashmir. Meghalaya has the most number of cases of separation, followed by Mizoram, Sikkim, Kerala and Chhattisgarh. But while divorce is not as common in India, settlements running into hundreds of crores of rupees are not unheard of. Although the only ones that make it to the headlines relate to Bollywood celebrities. Some of these include Karishma Kapoor and Sanjay Kapoor, Farhan Akhtar and Adhuna Bhabani, Saif Ali Khan and Amrita Singh, Hrithik Roshan and Suzanne Khan, Sanjay Dutt and Rhea Pillai, Leander Pace and Rhea Pillai, Prabhu Deva and Ramlata.
Yes, some expensive divorces have taken place here in India, and but generally the incomes have not been disclosed, but there have been taken place, and courts are very equitable out here in giving divorce. There is a process of mediation also, where nowadays government mandatorily refers, if a criminal complaint comes before the police, it is referred for mediation, and then some kind of a mutual agreed settlement takes place depending on the status of the parties and requirement of the parties.
However, unlike Western countries, there is no credible source of information about the type of settlements in each of these cases, although tabloids report varying figures running into crores. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Marriage is becoming less popular and divorce continues to rise. In our next report, we look at the divorce trends across the world and the reasons behind it.
A divorce settlement is the final legal agreement that documents the terms of their divorce. It talks about property sharing and responsibilities once the marriage is over, child custody and visitation rights, child support, alimony, health and life insurance, real estate, cars, household items, bank accounts, debts, investments, retirement plans, pensions, college tuition for children and other items of value are all mentioned in it. A prenuptial agreement or prenup is a contract entered into prior to marriage by the people intending to marry. The content of the prenup commonly includes provisions for division of property and spousal support in the event of breakup of marriage.
See, in US, the laws are very liberal. You can have a prenuptial agreement before marriage. At the event of divorce, this is how the agreement is there and this is how the distribution will take place. Or if you do not have an agreement and if you go through a court there, then they add all the assets of both the parties and distribute 50-50.
Every year, world organizations such as the United Nations record global divorce rates. The global divorce rate has increased 251.8% since 1960, which means that while only 12% people got divorced in 1960, 44% divorces were recorded in the year 2017. According to the recorded data, the marriage and the divorce statistics are dramatically changing due to a number of poignant factors. Most common reasons include incompatibility, infidelity, drug and alcohol addiction, and physical and mental abuse. Let's take a closer look at the divorce trends across the globe. At 87%, Luxembourg has the highest divorce rates for any country. The country allows couples to get divorced by mutual consent after 2 years of marriage, with the condition that both spouses are of a minimum age of 23. In 2017, the crude divorce rate or the number of divorces per thousand population was 1.88. At 65% and with a CDR of 2.1%, Spain has among the highest rate of divorce in the world. The high divorce rates are aided by the fact that divorces in Spain are no fault, which means that couples do not need to cite a reason for it. Paris, the world's romance capital, has the highest number of divorces filed in all of France, having a crude divorce rate of 1.9 per thousand. The total divorce rate in the country is 55%. In Russia, people tend to get divorced more often than they marry. Statistics indicate that 1/3 of marriages fail in first 5 years in the country. According to the American Psychology Association, 40 to 50% of married couples in the United States get divorced, with the divorce rate for subsequent marriages being even higher. At just 1%, India has the distinction of having the lowest divorce rates in the world. Factors such as societal and family pressure, arranged marriages which inhibit divorces, and better adjustment for the sake of the family means that out of 1,000 marriages, only 13 ends in divorces.
See, under the Indian law, it is governed by Section 25 of the Hindu Marriage Act, and also under Special Marriage Act there is an elimini, and also under Islamic law there are certain principles laid down. But generally speaking, husband's 1/3 or 1/4 income is given as an elimini, but it varies. There is no hard and fast rule or formula, and one has to see the standard of living when a person is used to their net income of the parties, and also other factors as the number of children, who takes the custody of children, who does not take the custody of children. And let me tell you, the Stridhan which the women gets during the marriage or before marriage is her sole property.
Divorce rates among the younger generation, however, is climbing, especially in the urban areas, with 40% of the marriages heading for divorce. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
So that's it from us in this edition of In Depth. You can also watch our program online on YouTube and Twitter. Thank you very much for your time.